Hello and welcome to DDOcast, episode 289, recorded live at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, Sunday, July 16th, 2013. We like to talk about Dungeons & Dragons online around 4 p.m. every Sunday. You can join us in the live chat room through G Plus Hangouts or from our website at DDOcast.com. Thanks to the mighty Cyber Ears for hosting our audio files. I'm your host for today, Siegfried Trent. With us we have, as always, lovely producer and wife, Anne Trent. Hi, darling.
Hey, everybody. Also, Father's Day. Hey!
Indeed.
DDOcast. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Yay!
From DDOgamer.com, we have a father, Jeff Hanna.
Hello, DDO world, and notice how close to on time we are this week.
Oh my god.
Indeed. Well, yeah, only a half hour off. Yeah, something near 4 p.m., I suppose. As my father used to say, close enough for horseshoes and nuclear warfare. And speaking of which, I wanted to dedicate today's podcast to my dad, who's a great guy. Goodwin Trent is his name, and he is not only a great dad, but also an accomplished musician, legal professional, patron of the arts, and all-around really swell guy. So he and my mother got me started on fantasy and science fiction when I was a little kid with Tolkien. He used to read Lord of the Rings to me every night, and Star Trek, which I used to watch regularly, even when I didn't really understand it. So all kinds of other interesting worlds of imagination. So thanks, Dad.
And I'd like to jump in and dedicate my little portion of this show to my dad, Doug Hanna. He's 76 years old. He's the primary caregiver, trying to help his wife get through her battle with, the big C. They're raising his step-granddaughter, a 12-year-old, which is a full-time job all by itself. She lives with them. But in spite of that, he still works, although only part-time. And meanwhile, he's written 4 books this year.
Damn.
So, I know. He taught me the game, on old school Avalon Hill cardboard chit games. He introduced me to Isaac Asimov and Ray Bradbury and Tolkien. He certainly made me the ultra-competitive SOB that I am today. Thanks, Dad.
Yay!
Yay! Hooray for good fathers.
Indeed. So in addition to all that good stuff for our dads, on the show this week we're going to have a bit of game and community news, as we always do. Lots of reincarnation talk, and I do mean a lot of that.
Lots.
Yeah, there's not much else in the show.
Lots by mean, if you want, you might want to get a drink and some popcorn.
Yeah, if you're not really interested in reincarnation, this might be a bit of a push. But
or fire up DDO while you listen.
Yeah,
there you go.
But you should stay tuned, because you are going to have a chance. If you will help me, I will help you by giving you a chance to win a collector's edition of the upcoming expansion that we're going to be giving away. And we're also going to talk about DDO Gamer for the week, and we have some fun reader mail and lightning post down at the end of the show. So that's the deal. Because we're going to do so much reincarnation talk, I'm going to open up with the DDO store news, since that's the only other real game news of the week. So what do we got this week? We got 20% off of shared bank space, character bank space, platinum vault, and storage bags, so places to put your stuff. We got a free augment this week for the code. I think that's a pretty cool code. AUGM01, and as far as I understand, you get any augment you like with that code. So I think that's a win. Also, double bonus points right now. So, basically, when you spend your money, you get more turbine points. Double bonus points are definitely pretty much the best time to buy DDO points, in my experience. So, that and occasionally, very special deals that they have. But double bonus points is a good one. So, I don't know. That's about it for the show this week. Anybody grab their augment yet?
Yes. Heavy Fort.
Very nice. A classic. I haven't gotten mine yet. I have to figure it out. I only have like 2 augments slotted that I put in myself. I'm just, so far I've been lazy about figuring out exactly what I need on which character and all that kind of stuff. So kind of slow so far, but I've been collecting them.
Yeah, I've been collecting a set of a full set of accessories and clothing and so forth that all has colored slots. Mm-hmm. And someday I'll get it all done, and then I'm going to go augment crazy.
Yeah. Just go to town with it.
Yeah, I don't have much. What? Oh, what? What was the question? Go ahead, darling. Sorry. I was going to say that I just kind of collect them as I go, and if I happen to see one in the brokers on my haggle bard, then I'll pick it up because it's pretty relatively cheap. But anyways, it actually gives collectibles, especially those stupid little kobold beads, shaman beads, like something to do. Now you can actually get like low little augments on the trade collectible vendors.
Yeah. Yeah, someday I'm going to sit down. I'm going to go through all those and turn in some stuff, but that has not happened yet. I need a nice
Actually,
long,
I'm working
lazy
on
day.
I'm working on, and I'm nearly completed. It's a lot of research and a lot of putting things together, but sometime in the coming week, I should have a collectible trade-in go-to guide.
Ah, groovy.
Sometime this week.
Okay, that'll be awesome.
Not yet, but it's coming.
Cool, excellent.
Right.
Cool.
Okay, well, let's get into today's jumbo topic here, and I'll introduce it. We got an email. We got a bunch of emails on this topic, and we got this one from Quijon Dragonfist of Galanda, guild leader of Friends of Nice and Slow. He says, "Good afternoon, folks. Love the show. Good to see some semi-level heads to balance up the nerd rage doommongers on the forums. As you folks seem to have the ear of the good people at Turbine, is there any way that you could bring up the topic of heroic TRing and epic TRing on one of your upcoming shows?" Why, yes, indeed we can. And his email goes on to talk more about it, but we're going to save that till kind of after we talk about what was announced this week, because he has some opinions on that sort of thing, and we're going to have our opinions on it too. But I thought I would introduce the actual subject. If you haven't noticed, it is all the rage on the forums and Facebook and some other places where people like to talk about DDO. But, if you're hearing it here first, I wanted to go over it. So this was an announcement. It came from producer Glenn, and I'll just read it, and I'll break in once in a while to kind of comment or clarify some stuff. So he says, "I am excited to start sharing our plans for the future of the reincarnation system. Later this year, targeting Update 20, and I believe what we're on Update, the expansion's like 18, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway,
we just got 18.
We just got 18. Okay, so this is coming up pretty soon. We're looking forward to introducing a new TR destinations: Epic Destiny, True Reincarnation, and Iconic True Reincarnation. We've got some minor improvements involving lesser and greater reincarnation in store as well. We've seen a number of questions and discussions about TR, Iconics, and the TR endgame gap. For the expansion pack, we are focused on ensuring that the new character races are fun and playable, the content is fun and beautiful, and that the enhancement system changes launch as expected. With that, we plan to build out the TR system later in the year. The team is also taking time to get your early feedback as the designers and engineers lock down the future plans. How is this going to fit or change your playstyle? Read on for details and then let us know." So I'm going to break in here. Yeah, one thing I noted in here is it sounds like the enhancements are indeed slated to come out in the expansion. There's maybe some diciness to whether they'll be completely ready, but it sounds like that's certainly their objective, which for me, that's good news. For some people, maybe they're not so keen on that, but I'm happy about that. Okay, on with the details. Now, I've edited this a little bit because I thought some of the points were not entirely clear, so I kind of sharpened them up a little bit. Okay, so a few goals for the Epic Destiny TR. This is, like I said, just an edited version of what Glenn posted. Extend reincarnation system to allow for 38-point builds. Include Epic Destinies in the TR cycle with Epic Destiny past life feats. Reward you for additional investment in Epic Destinies with starting ranks after True Reincarnation. Adjust the experience point curve in Epic levels for multi-life True Reincarnation to avoid the dramatic escalating grind. Include Iconics in the TR cycle with Iconic past life feats. Allow you to TR into and out of Iconics if you happen to own them. And, okay, so that was their goals. And I think it's pretty important to keep those in mind as we kind of go forward. Those goals sound pretty good to me. I don't have any problem with any of that. Though, I like to start out with perhaps more general goals myself. This is how I want the player to feel, and this is the kind of experience I'm looking for, and this is what kind of play I'm hoping to get out of it. So I look at a little more, I guess, general design goals and then go for the specific ones and then the actual implementation. But anyway, let us continue. All right, so there are going to be two kinds of true reincarnation, heroic and epic. Heroic true reincarnation is like thus. Heroic TR requires you to be level 20. It grants a past life feat that can stack up to 3 times. It grants access to selectable class feats. It adds 2 build points to your character, up to 36-point builds. It sets your character XP to 0 and lets you rebuild most aspects of your character. The benefits from the Epic Advantage if you earn Epic Destinies before you true and reincarnate, and that part is new. And we'll get into what Epic Advantage is in a bit. All right, so Epic Destiny True Reincarnation, which is the new system, can only be taken at level cap, which will be level 28 by the time this is implemented. You must have a maximized, non-binded Epic Destiny to complete this True Reincarnation. Karmic Bond is something you get. The active ED experience is now bonded to you through each Epic Destiny True Reincarnation going forward. So basically, you're going to pick the one, whatever one you have as your active ED is going to be karmically bonded. All other Epic Destiny experience points are set to 0 along with your character experience points. And you gain the benefits of Epic Advantage, which again we'll get to in just a second. Grants an Epic Destiny Past Life feat based on the active maximized Epic Destiny. Grants a Past Life feat, a class Past Life feat, and access to selectable class feats, same as a Heroic TR when you do this. And adds 2 build points up to a maximum of 38, which is 2 points higher than you can get through Heroic Reincarnation. All right, so what is this Epic Advantage thing that you get? Essentially, Epic Destinies will not carry over into your next life, except those Destinies that you have bonded with previous Epic Destiny TRs, the ones that are karmically bonded. With any type of True Reincarnation, all Epic Destiny levels earned will give you an advantage when you rebuild your character by converting Destiny levels into heroic ranks. So for every level of Epic Destiny you have earned will count towards ranks earned in your next life. So basically, it's going to take some of the XP that you got from Epic Destinies and move it over into your new life as a heroic character. Iconics and True Reincarnation. Basically, Iconics can TR like anyone else, but all at level 15. They have their own new class feats. You can TR in and out of Iconic classes, and they start with the usual fixed race class alignment settings for Iconics. So basically, they're the same as any other class, except you start at level 15. And you know they're not. If you're a Paladin Iconic or whatever it is you made your Iconic guy, he's a Bladeforge Iconic, and that's what he is, no matter what your class mix really is. Okay, what else? There are some changes that we are currently exploring. Reincarnation cooldown timer is reduced to 3 days. Reincarnation XP curve smoothed to ease penalties for multiple lives. Lesser Reincarnation will allow heroic characters to reincarnate as champion, no more greater reincarnation. Iconic characters will be able to lesser reincarnate. Currently they can't. So that's the outline. Then it kind of caps that off saying, we are eager to begin production with this system and appreciate the many players that are eager to see us fulfill the endgame potential that the TR system presents. With these changes, we are also keeping a long-term view of TR, such as how to expand the Epic Destiny system and continue to support level cap growth in the future. And that's about when the gnashing of teeth and raising of doom began. So pretty quickly, I mean, from the first post, people were not happy. And the main reason they're not happy is they lose all their Epic Destiny experience points. But I want to continue. Yeah, and fate points. That part actually we don't know for sure. I assume that's the case, but I never found a post that explicitly said so.
Yes, Pilato said so.
Did he? Okay.
Pilato? Yes, he said so. Yes, he said. And then he said, and then darn, I should have the exact quote. What he said is the ones you bought from the store we'll keep, but the ones you've earned, we just can't think of a way for you to keep. Is what he said.
I see. All right. Well, I'll read the further post that he said. I didn't find that one when I was looking through, but I believe that it is out there. Okay. So yeah, this guy Pilato, I don't know him. I've never seen him before, but he's a dev, and he said our sincere intention.
Welcome, Pilato.
What?
Sorry. Welcome to DDOcast, Pilato.
Welcome. Yeah, trial by fire this time. All right. Our sincere intentions are to try and provide these features to you and the DDO community at large. We invite you to respond on these details and thank you for your support and fortitude while we roll these changes out to support of this year's expansion pack. Our team is thrilled that DDO continues to grow, innovate, and provide a great DDO experience. Can I say that thanking your players for their fortitude is perhaps not a good sign? All right. Thanks for all the responses so far, everyone. The team will try to address the details as best we can this early in development. Here are a few more clarifications that we're reviewing as we're reviewing your comments. Our intention is that players will be able to earn or buy Epic Destiny TR Hearts of Wood. We'll continue to add more Epic level content so that players have a variety of paths for leveling. We are revisiting XP curves in not only the Heroic but also in the Epic levels. This would make leveling and ultimately bonding in Destiny a faster process compared to the current pace. True Reincarnation has always been about giving up your current life in exchange for increased power in your next life. We are early enough in the design work that we want to also hear ideas from the players on what types of Destiny feats they'd like to see in their next life in exchange for reincarnating their Destinies. We're also making balance changes to compensate for the fact that the new system goes into higher levels, and we expect that parts of the design summary will seem less harsh once the details are better understood. We'll be reading discussions in this thread, and we'll continue to post here with details as we go, such as details regarding epic fate points, completionist, and the exact effects of turning in your epic Destiny XP on your new life. So yeah, that was the end of that post. So apparently it came back and explained fate points. Otherwise, the things that I don't really have a clear thing are what the XP conversion rate of epic advantage is, whether it's 1 for 1 or 1 rank for 1 rank, or how that works. Obviously, epic Destiny ranks are way more expensive than low-level heroic ranks. What will happen with fate points?
They didn't say ranks for ranks. You're getting epic levels for a rank.
That's not what I remember reading. Hold on, we got it right here, so I can go look. Epic advantage. When you rebuild your character by converting Destiny levels, into heroic ranks, Destiny levels, which I guess aren't ranks. Those are the points. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but not the character levels, but the Destiny levels. Anyway, and heroic ranks, which doesn't, on the face of that, sound good. But who knows exactly what they have in mind? Nobody exactly yet. Also, what will happen to Destiny unlocks? Presumably, those all go away. What will happen with completionists, unless maybe you bought them? What will happen with completionist because of the new classes being added in? Will you have to earn it back again? Usually that's the case. How good the Epic Destiny TR feats will be, we do not know. Exactly what kind of XP leveling costs will be thereafter. We know that they're going to be basically cheaper. It should be cheaper to level up to cap, but we don't know exactly. Okay,
I found the other...
Yeah? Oh yeah, go ahead and read that post then.
It's long, but the part that's specifically relevant is Pilato, again, currently store-bought fate points will be preserved after reincarnation. This will not change. We are investigating ways to somehow preserve regular in-game earned fate points, but behind the scenes, they are different from store-bought ones. It is not completely certain that we will be able to preserve them. If we cannot, we will look for ways to compensate a character for them. Stay tuned for more information and explanations of this new system proposal early next week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, time to talk about it. Although I promised him my guild leader, Levon Stroll, or Ross as he is known in the guild, Madborn, that I would, he has a perspective of somebody who has pretty much maxed out all their epic destinies on at least one character, which is something that I cannot say for myself. When this was announced, I'm like, well, I don't have a lot of characters going to lose a lot of epic destiny points, so really it doesn't affect me all that much. It doesn't mean I don't have an opinion, but it meant that I didn't have a real strong feeling about it. However, Ross, who has spent a lot of XP and a lot of time doing that, definitely felt strongly about it. So I invited him to write something for us to read on the show, which I'm going to do. And he also posted this on the forums as well in the big thread where this was announced. So here we go. This is his perspective. The new Epic TR plan isn't exactly what I was hoping for. To me, the idea of Epic TRing suggests that I would continue playing my Epic characters in Epic content. I was hoping it would reset us back to level 20, and we continue down our Epic path once again. I wasn't expecting huge powerful gains, just nice benefits for choosing to run the Epic content more often. That said, what they're suggesting isn't bad, it's just not quite what I had hoped for, with the exception of one thing: deleting your previous Epic Destiny experience. Epic Destiny experience was promised to be kept after TR. That is why so many people are now upset with Turbine, because for many people like myself, we decided to spend a significant amount of time and energy working on our Epic Destiny plans instead of working on our TRs. We felt that we would be safe in this decision because it was stated by Turbine that we would keep our earned Epic Destiny experience, so we chose to focus our playtime working on this area of the game instead. It's not like we were using something that wasn't quite right, like evasion working in medium armor. This was supposed to be that Turbine specifically stated we would not be affected by TRs, and giving people a false sense of safety in their future endeavors. Now comes along the decision to change that plan. Lighting a large group of players for something that we had originally been promised would not happen. Players are left feeling ripped off. All of our time, effort, experience points, potions, etc., all wasted, quote-unquote. Sorry, but trading in one Destiny level for a single heroic rank is not acceptable. What's worse is that those ranks push us into levels that we'd rather not have to go back and run the content anyway, just for the purpose of favor. Bank, pack space, etc. There have been lots of great suggestions for handling the lost experience points. Please listen to them and take them into consideration. All that said, the plan itself isn't that bad, and it should be put into place long before this so that people could have positioned themselves better without being left feeling ripped off or being misled by other Turbine employees. The biggest problem with EDs is that player is forced to grind out experience into destinies that provide very little benefit or no benefit for the character they're playing, just for the purpose of grinding out fate points. There isn't much fun involved in that, and why you see so many endless grindathons running the same 2 or 3 quests just to get this over with. Is that really what you wanted the players to do? I have felt that I've never been a big fan of that design. It sucked it up and had to but I sucked it up and have done several 4-2-1 and 4-1-1 mixes over the last few months. I'm now being told that all that work will be lost should I ever choose to TR my character again. Ouch. I could live with some of the lessons that we should be allowed to keep all our fate points from our previous lives and only be forced to regrind destinies that we want to twist again. Not a great solution, but better than what's being suggested now. I've touched base with this about epic destinies and fate points, and I'll rehash it here again. I truly believe, especially now, that the fate points and destiny experience need to be separated so that you can continue earning fate points regardless of your current destiny. This allows players to enjoy the game while play their characters the way they were intended. You could make the fate experience higher, but a flat rate possibly, I'm not sure. Just want to know that the current form is not really working well, and with the new plan they've suggested, it will only make things less desirable. Combined with that, I also think that the connection between destinies needs to be removed. Allow us to choose any destiny we want from anywhere in the tree. If we're going to be forced, we have to have it all deleted upon each TR, then we should only have to do the ones that we want to and not be forced to grind all our way around the tree again. Turbine, you have a great game, and from time to time you come up with great ideas. I love the new augment system. This one isn't bad, but please listen to your players and make adjustments on it based on everyone who will be affected. Remember, one of the major reasons everyone is having is that up until now you've promised that our EDXP would be maintained, and now you're saying it won't be. Thanks for listening. All right, and big thanks to Ross for writing that up and sending it to us, because, like I said, I can only represent one perspective on the show, and so I need other voices in order to do that. So with that in mind, let's stop the Siegfried monologues, and let's go over to you, Jeff, and maybe you can tell me a little bit about your impressions on this and some of your thoughts.
Well, I have some questions first, and then I'll do that.
Okay.
So, for one, if you do an iconic character that is a paladin, and then you TR, do you earn an iconic past life feat or a paladin past life feat? Or both?
Yeah, my impression is the iconic, but yeah, they're not 100% clear on that.
So there will be a new iconic past life feat, and they reference it, but there'll only be one, and everybody earns it? I'm not sure.
No,
I guess there could be 4.
Yeah, there would be one for each of the iconic classes. Basically, if you're an iconic character, you're treated as being the iconic whatever class. You're a Bladeforged Paladin. Whatever your class levels are, you're a Bladeforged Paladin. And there'll be a Bladeforged Paladin past life feat that you get. So just one per, so probably 4 different ones. That's,
all right, now,
that's what I understand.
Oh, okay, but if iconic past lives exist, does that mean that heroic completionists must earn them to stay completionists?
I don't know. That's one of the things they haven't said yet. I'm going to guess probably yes. That's what they did with the Druid and the Artificer. And while there was a little bit of mumbling, because they had set that up ahead of time, nobody complained too much, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain if that's the case here. I'm just curious. And is it the converse of that? Is this a heroic completionism shortcut? I mean, if you could start at level 15 for, what is that? We're up to 18 lives you'd have to have now to get completionist? That's a huge plus.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So, I mean, in a sense,
level
15 is only about half the XP you need, maybe a little less than half. So it's definitely a boost, although it's still, still significant to go from 15 to 20. Especially on your local ones. But yeah, it's a shortcut. It's definitely attractive to me. If I have a character and I just want the build points, I definitely go through the iconics to do it, just because it's faster.
And you save $50 from an Otto's box or whatever, right? Which gives you
right. If you're going to do that, yeah.
Right.
I'm mostly determined to avoid those, but never know.
Okay. Another question. Oh yeah, I haven't used that yet either. I just threw it out there because I know there's a lot of people who do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about a lot. I know there are some people who do, and they're very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Would Epic Destiny past life feats be selectable, or would you just automatically get them? Because there's not enough feats to be throwing in more selectable feats. You don't have enough slots.
my impression is it says you're granted them. So I believe they're just like they're the free ones. So these are going to be free ones. And they didn't sort of make sounds about having both free ones and selectable ones. It sounds like they're just going to have the free ones and not the selectable ones. I don't know, but that's my impression from what they have. Yeah.
All right. Last specific question, and then a couple of comments. You meant, as you were reading through this, it says that when you finish off your level 28 Epic Advantage, you get a heroic past life feat for that class as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So does that mean you could, in theory, earn 2 heroic past lives in one life span? You know, one at level 20 when you finish off, and then again at level 28. Is that how that would work? Or you only get 1 at 28 when you're done with everything?
Yeah, just 1 at 28 because you get it after you reincarnate, right? So if you reincarnated at 20, you'd never get into the Epic Destinies, and you would skip that. Right, yeah. So yeah, you would only.
Well, okay, but what if? All right, so but if you were heroic, a wizard, an Epic Destiny, a sorcerer, how would that work?
Sorcerer?
Which one would you get when you TR'd?
Well, the Epic Destinies aren't really tied to class. I mean, they're kind of class neutral. I mean, although there's ones that you might prefer, they're not. They don't really have a class in them themselves.
Right,
so,
okay. So I was reading that. I was reading that as that they were matching the Epic Destinies to heroic classes, and you're saying no, you'll just get whatever heroic one you had already earned.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
If you're primarily sorcerer, then you get a sorcerer one, and maybe you happen to be you decided to cap out Juggernaut, and you picked that, so you get the Juggernaut past life and the sorcerer past life. So it just it's whatever you would normally get.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get both if you do it at the epic level. So they're kind of encouraging you. Yeah, you might as well go all the way up. The only reason I can really see having the heroic one is, maybe you don't want any of the epic ones, or just for backwards compatibility because it's already there.
All right. So for general impressions, I mean, I'm really at this stage of the game, I'm really more of a casual player. So but having said that, I do have multiple capped characters that have multiple Epic Destinies. I have, I've got fuel in the fire here too. So does my gamer girl. We would both take losses, and I feel like reading through, just the tone of the announcements, I feel like they just missed that this was going to be a downer for. We were supposed to be all excited. Yeah. I don't think they expected the very first comment to be, WTF ? Exclamation point. I think they just missed it. I don't know how. How do you not? Because as soon as we're reading it, my gamer girl goes, well, what about my other fates and my other Epic Destinies? And I've got like 4 of them now. And he's like, I don't know how they would have done that. And it seems like a strange thing to have missed, but I feel like they just missed it. So when you read their explanation as to why they're doing it, I mean, it sounds really good. The tie-in with how Epic Destinies work is very good. The ability to support level cap, which will someday be 30. This makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Except for that little detail of everybody spent the last year grinding out something they're going to lose. And I think I wonder if they still have it, because I'm reading one of Pilato's responses, and here's another quote. He says, "We understand your concern about losing Epic Destiny XP upon reincarnation and not getting enough in return." See, now, if he had stopped, if he'd put a period after "we understand your concern about losing Epic Destiny," then I would believe he understands it. Not getting enough in return, I'm not sure he gets it. I mean, there's no number of heroic ranks that you can throw us that's going to make up for that.
Yeah.
So now the answer is, and my gamer girl and I both came up with this independently, is, well, we just won't TR anymore.
Right.
We'll do our heroic TRs, which is what we would have done anyway.
But the heroic
TR at 20.
The heroic TR will kill all your past lives as well, all your Epic Destiny XP too.
Well, I'm a little fortunate in that my completionist has not spent time in Epic. Because it's so hard to become a completionist. So, we're going to finish our completionists at heroic, and when our other characters cap, we're just going to stop there.
Yeah.
And that'll be that.
Yep.
So I don't think that's the intent of the design, but that's my impression.
A design that makes you just not want to use the system is a pretty bad one, I think. Yeah, and as for their mentality, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple things. Like, as a person who has not cranked out fate points very much, I mean, I have a few on a few characters, but not a lot. I wouldn't be losing a whole lot, and, I get a few ranks. I guess that's fine. It wouldn't be a big deal for me. But, there's a lot of people that have ground those things into the ground and worked real hard. And those are the most vocal, most active, most dedicated, most, enthusiastic players they have, and it really didn't. I know that people who, some people say, oh, do the devs ever play their game? Yeah, they play the game. I mean, I know for a fact they do. Jerry plays it all the time. But they don't play it like some players play it, where they play it every evening for multiple hours, and, it's a big part of their life. It's, they have to work on it all day, so it's a big part of their lives, but, right. They have stuff to do at work, and then they go home, and maybe they play a little bit here and there. But they're not, just the nature of their lives. It's not an escape to go play D&D. It's sort of part of their job, as much as I know Jerry still has a lot of fun with it and everything, but you know what I mean. So I just don't think they would have a personal connection to that. And then they have a philosophical design, which is TRing is starting over, right? And they're just sticking with that, except for stuff that you spent money on. So I think that's where they're coming from. Anne, you have thoughts on this?
Well, I'm mostly holding my opinion upon it because I'm missing a lot of data points. Yeah. And for me, it's all about numbers, and I want to really compare numbers. So I know for a fact that when you do a full Epic Destiny, all the way is like 1,980,000 experience points, correct?
Yeah, actually, I have a little section for numbers. I'll give you those real quick. I think they're kind of interesting. So your first life to level 20 is 1.9 million experience points. Your second life to 20 is 3.139 million. Your third life to 20 is 4.378 million. From level 20 to 25 is currently 3 million. Each full Epic Destiny is 1.98 million. There are 12 of those available. So if you have, let's say, 11 of them maxed out, that's 21,870,000. So if you're going, let's say, a multiple TR character all the way from 1 up to level 25, that would be about 7.4 million XP. And, if we projected to add on a couple more levels, because we're talking about 28 or 3 more levels, I came up with an estimate of about 11.4 million XP. Now, they said they're going to lower it down, so it'll probably be a little bit less than that. But those are the current numbers. So maxing out all your Epic Destinies is about the same as going from level 1 to 28 about 1.5 times, something like that. Mm-hmm. Or, about 2 times, something in that range. So
2 times. It's basically 2 lifetimes.
Yeah, 2 lifetimes from 1 to the cap that we don't have yet. So currently it's more like 3.
Okay, so it's near 3
trips
lifetimes.
from 1 to 25. Yeah, to cap
so,
all
I mean, like,
Destinies.
If you think about it, that's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
That's a ton of work. I mean, and you're talking about volume. So, yeah, it's... Yeah.
Can I do a math check real quick? I'm sorry, sure. Did you say 1.9 million XP per Epic Destiny and 12 Epic Destinies?
Yeah.
So isn't that something closer to, 22 million XP to fill them all up, or 3 or 4 entire TRs?
2, 3, 6 something. But because you get to the guy who did the math here that I copied from, he did 11 Epic Destinies because you get to keep one of them, right? You get to keep the one that you had maxed out.
Right.
Okay. So he calculated 11 of them rather than 12.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Carry on.
That's all right. I'm just asking questions for clarification because
no, I think that helps put it into perspective.
It puts it in perspective when you see the numbers. I mean, there is a definite perception of loss here, and that whatever you gain in TRing does not exceed or equal what you have to lose.
Yeah, you're talking about wiping out the equivalent of 5 third life TRs.
Yes.
Well, it's more than that. It's because this has been the end game. This has been the end game for a year. So it's basically wiping out your last year, regardless of what the numbers are, right? For a lot of people.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, and not only that, but also a lot of that time was spent with your caster control wizard in in Juggernaut or Sentinel Defender or something that you just found horribly tedious and painful.
I mean, you do not know how horrible Shadow Dancer is on a sword. I mean, it's
almost
painful.
Anybody at Shadow Dancer, yeah.
And I mean, I refuse to buy unlocks in order to get to Sharadi, so I have to work through that. and now I'm working through Juggernaut. It's painful.
Yeah, and every caster who spent 4 levels as the Bard Epic Destiny, right?
So here's the perception is that here I am working through these Epic Destinies, trying to get the one that I really want, and that's my reward. And you're asking me to give up that pain and that reward. Yeah. So, I mean, like, all in one go.
Let us keep our pain. We want our pain.
I know, exactly. It's a journey. I mean, like, you're asking us to wipe out that journey that we went through in order to get, what we really wanted, you know?
Yeah. And another brutal point is, normally when you TR, let's say the old heroic system, you start out at level 20, you go back to level 1. By the time you get back to level 20, you are more powerful than your first character was. You got 2 extra points, you got a past life feat, you got some extra options, but otherwise you're just as powerful as you were. With this system, if you had ground out a bunch of Epic Destinies, and you go back to 1, and then you get back to cap again, you are a weaker character than you were the first time around. Because you don't have your twists, you don't have your fate points, you don't have the option of switching from one destiny to another depending on the quest you're running. Your character has gotten weaker because you TR'd, and that is not what TRing is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about making your character just a little bit stronger, and this does not do that. It makes them a lot weaker. You do get an advantage you didn't have before, but you're giving up probably a lot more in order to get it. Because generally the Epic Destiny feats are nice, but they're modest. As kind of they should be, otherwise
they're not awesome. They're not like activatable or like.
No, some are better passive than others, but yeah, they're not character-changing abilities, right? They're nice little bumps that add up. Right. I'm going to read the rest of Quidgen's Dragon Fist's email here because he has a perspective of somebody who has capped out not just completionist, but the 40th life triple completionist. So I thought that was an interesting perspective to get.
No, it's like, oh my god, I'm coughing.
Yeah, scary thought. But here's the man who's done it. All right, so he says, a major snag in their proposal is that heroic TRing will wipe out all your Epic Destiny XP. Whatever we do, we must make sure that heroic TR does not in any way affect Epic Destiny XP. It should remain exactly as it is right now. Epic TR sounds fine the way it is, broadly speaking, but the thread contains some decent suggestions on how it could be enhanced. If we prevent heroic TRing...
hold on. What's going on? Oh, can you mute me a mic?
DDOcast wants some attention. Sorry.
Sorry, there you go. Continue on.
There. All right.
Rewind it a little bit.
Oh, rewind it? Okay.
Just
Epic TRing sounds fine the way it is, broadly speaking, but the thread contains some decent suggestions on how it could be enhanced. If we prevent heroic TRing from affecting Epic Destiny XP in any way, then we are adding a choice and a variety to those who choose to Epic TR. If we remove ED XP from heroic TR, then we will be doing the game a huge disservice to anyone who hasn't finished heroic TRing yet. Just to be clear, my main is a 40th life triple completionist, so I'll never need to heroic TR him again. So I don't have a vested interest here. For all those of us who have achieved everything that there is to achieve with heroic TRing, the ability to epic TR into an iconic that will start at level 15 plus, so level 20 as soon as you have 25 ED levels locked in, sounds great. Without even knowing the details, I can happily say that 12 extra iconic past life feats and 11 Epic Destiny past life feats, plus a new Epic Completionist, is not to be sniffed at. Happy to provide any further feedback from a triple completionist perspective, if that helps. All the best, and keep up the great work. So, big thanks to Quidgen for sending that in. That was really interesting.
Yeah, I really like his... Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Let's see if he remains as cheerful when he realizes he does have to go do those iconic lives to keep his heroic completionism.
Yeah. Well, if he does. We don't know for sure.
If he does.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so with all that in mind, so my opinion, I cogitated this. I found this really interesting from a game design perspective, and at first I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, but then as my guildmates and people I cared about, and I saw the forums erupt in flame, and I thought about the process and ways to fix it, I had what to me seemed something of a revelation. I was like, aha! I feel like I have the perfect solution to all these problems. So I put together a proposal, and I'm going to try to promote it as much as I can and see if I can get other people, if they like the idea, to promote it as well. So, I don't know, it just seemed like a fun thing to do. So here we go. I'm going to, instead of kind of commenting on what I like or didn't like, I'm just going to share what my proposal is and why I think it's a good idea. Okay, so I gotta go find it here. All right, so I'm going to skip part of my introduction here, and I will say, however, that for the moment, I am going to be calling this the player's choice design. Now, I haven't run it by a lot of players yet, so that might be really presumptuous of me. But my idea is to get a design that players can kind of rally around, and we can really petition Turbine in an organized way to try and adopt the idea behind it, and see if we can do that. So it needs a catchy name, and I went for Player's Choice Design, and thus my little logo here. I suppose if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see, but we have these little logos under us on the video, and mine says, I am a proponent of the Player's Choice Design. Right, okay, so what are my objectives here? A, encourage players to enjoy the full range of DDO content from level 1 to cap. That's pretty much what the TR system is essentially about. 2, allow for continuous improvement and experimentation for characters. 3, not to piss anyone off, at least not too much. You can't make everybody happy, but I will try to make as many people happy as possible. Okay, so description. Under my system, there are 3 types of reincarnation. First, lesser reincarnation, very much like we have it today, available at any level. You can reconfigure ability scores, skills, feats, enhancements, grants you a 32-point build. If you were not already 32 points, this is pretty much what Turbine is proposing as well. And option to reconfigure limited class levels. You know, you buy the +1. So pretty much the same as it is now, but included in here for completeness. All right, heroic reincarnation. Also, pretty much the same as it is now. Available at level 20. Granted future lives of stacking past life feat based on the class, up to 3 times per class. Somebody scrolled. Grants future lives access to selectable feats. Next life gives you a +2 build points, up to 36 maximum. Resets character level XP, mind you, just character level XP to 0, and lets you roll a new character. All tomes are preserved along with character's name. Reincarnating into an iconic hero sets the class XP to level 15. So that's pretty much also exactly what they're proposing, except no epic advantage, no resetting of Epic Destiny experience points whatsoever. No change to your Epic Destinies at all. Now, Epic Reincarnation. Available at level 28, or whatever the cap happens to be at the time. Requires 1 selected capped Epic Destiny. I've got an asterisk on there because there's a little bit more detail about that. Grants an Epic Destiny feat based on your chosen Epic Destiny on capping and completing chosen Destiny. Stacking to be decided. I don't know if they intend to have multiple stacking on the Epic Destiny ones or not. I'll leave that up to them. I don't know what their plans are. But so the idea here is you have a selected Epic Destiny. You're going to get the feat for that. It's a little bit different. We got to keep going here to explain the whole thing. It grants the benefits of heroic reincarnation, just like Turbine is proposing. Maximum build points are 38 when you do these kind of reincarnations, exactly like Turbine is suggesting. Resets character level XP to 0 and lets you roll a new character. All tomes are preserved along with character name. That's pretty standard. If a character has every heroic past life benefit available, already taken, they can start at level 20 when they do an epic reincarnation. So this was a little nod to the people who already have their triple completionist and have done all the other ones, but they still have some epic destinies to do. No need to make them go back to level 1. They've experienced all the content there is in spades, so I see no reason to do that. So that'll be a little caveat there. All right, reincarnating into an iconic hero class sets you up to level 15 instead of level 0. All fate points are preserved, as are all Epic Destiny unlocks. And generally, all Epic Destiny experience points with one exception. It resets the XP for the next life's chosen Epic Destiny to 0 upon reincarnation. So let me explain how this chosen Destiny thing works. It's a little different than the one that Turbine is doing. So it works like this. Epic Reincarnation is a little different, as it awards your past life feat upon capping your character rather than just after your reincarnation. There will be an NPC who you can speak to that will award your past life feat. On your first life, you can select any currently capped destiny. On subsequent lives, you will be awarded with the destiny that you selected upon reincarnation. We'll have to read the next point to fully understand that. Note that this means all current capped characters will be eligible for a past life feat. So when the system goes live, if you happen to be capped and you have a capped destiny, you can go ahead and pick up a past life feat, and you can just keep it on your character even if you don't reincarnate. Upon reincarnation, you have to select an epic destiny that you have unlocked. Among any of the ones that you have unlocked, however much XP you have in it doesn't really matter. You will lose all XP in that selected destiny when you are reborn. You then must max out that particular destiny in your next life in order to receive your next life's epic destiny past life feat. So you're basically choosing when you start your reincarnation what epic destiny past life you're going to be going for. Doesn't affect the heroic one. You can choose, it's going to pick whichever one you pick class levels for. But you're kind of at the outset picking which one you're going for to start with. We got some, for iconic characters, I already kind of included that in there. They start at level 15 instead of level 0 when you reincarnate into them. Further modifications that are kind of optional. There should be a single experience point track for all true reincarnated characters rather than the second life, third life model. I just think that's kind of silly. Epic class levels should have a more flattened leveling structure and not increase on subsequent lives, like we do for heroic XP. I'm fine with the heroic one still costing more, but that's good. And again, these are just kind of optional tweaks, stuff that they haven't really announced yet either. I also felt it would be good for Epic Destinies to have to maintain their progressive XP structure, but add 4 more maximum ED points to all destinies. The reason for that being that we're going to have 3 more levels, and Epic levels don't really give you very much, so it'd be nice to have a little bit more that you can get out of your Epic Destinies, just so you can be gaining things while you're leveling up. Okay, so what's the reason for this thing? My primary mission for this TR system is twofold. Incentivize replaying the full range of DDO's content to provide a slow but steady means of increasing your character's potential. Things it should not do is interfere with the planning and efforts of characters who have already invested to Epic Destiny system, or it should not require more effort than process of leveling from 1 to cap in order to rebuild a character as strong as the one you had before reincarnating. So when you're done with Epic Destiny, doing your next life, you should be stronger than you were before, not weaker. So the problems with the current one, we pretty much already talked about that, so I'm going to skip over that. So why the whole selected Epic Destiny thing? Well, here's the deal: you could just say, well, let's just keep all our Epic Destiny experience points. But then the problem is from level 20 to level cap, whatever it happens to be, you're not really progressing your character a whole bunch because Epic levels really just aren't that exciting by themselves. It's the destinies that make it fun. So I really wanted a way that you would be improving your character as you go by working on an Epic Destiny and leveling it up as well as you're leveling up your character levels. So by picking one to reset that you're going to try and get the reward on, you're going to have something that you are leveling up and getting more powerful in, and you'll have to be in that Epic Destiny to get the experience points for it, to get the feat that you're trying to get, the Epic Destiny feat. So this just gives more character progression as you're leveling up. But it otherwise preserves everything else you have, and when you're done, you'll have a maximized Destiny, even if it was maximized in your past life, and you'll have all the other ones that you had in your Twists of Fate and all that good stuff. So your character will finish out just as strong or stronger than they were the last time around, but you'll still have a nice leveling experience where you can look forward to spending experience points to get little goodies and things as you level up. Let's see, what else? Why grant the Destiny to currently capped characters? And that is something that I just, was trying to make this whole system work, and it doesn't really work otherwise. First of all, I think it's just awesome. There's nothing right now that you get for a capped character. You cap your character, and you're like, yay, I capped my character. It used to be there were capstones on some things, but those really aren't there anymore. So this is something when you finish, you get to cap, boom, you get you essentially get a past life feat right away for whatever destiny you had. If you currently have a character when the system goes into play, you're going to get one of those feats. I think that's just cool and will be fun. But also, if you think about it, in order to clear one out, then you have to kind of be picking one up front, right? And then you should be rewarded when you finish it, not the next time around. So it just makes a lot more logical sense to give you that bonus when you have completed all the work. And if you didn't do it that way, then if you didn't clear the XP on one and stuff, then basically you would just go level to 1 to 28, and 20 to 28 would be pretty boring. So I don't know. When I looked at all the different directions to take, that system made the most sense for kind of keeping it internally logical and also always having a motivation to play. So that's my idea, and so I'm going to try and write up a nice formalized version of it with Anne's help, because she's very good at design and layout and stuff. And we'll get that on the forums, we'll get it on the website and stuff, and then we're going to try to get people to promote it. But before I do all that, I thought I would query Jeff on what he thinks about my idea.
Well, okay. I think that the consensus best idea from the forums is essentially leave Epic Destinies work the way they do now, and just add this bonding of Epic Destinies on top of it,
mm-hmm.
so that you end, so you don't lose anything. There is something to gain. Now, so I'm going to compare this idea to that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try and compare it to Glenn's current idea because I think we all agree Glenn's current idea, it's got some valid, it's got a lot of awesome to it, but it's got some. Okay, we've covered all that already.
Yeah.
So, all right, compared to the consensus forum idea, I think the biggest difference is that instead of finishing a destiny and getting your past life, you also plan ahead by picking the next destiny you're going to work on, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's really the only difference.
You have to re-experience that one.
Right, if you want to end up with one that you get a past life on, right? The bonding.
If you want to get your past life feat, you have to max out that epic destiny.
Right. Now, it doesn't have to be one that you've already maxed. It has to be one you've already unlocked.
Has to be one you've already unlocked. That's right.
Right. So, I mean, if you have already maxed it, okay, you're going to lose those XP, but it's not all of your epic destiny XP. It's just that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if your goal is to get all of the epic past lives, you still have to clear all of you're still going to lose all of your epic destiny. You're just going to do it one life at a time instead of all in one batch, right?
That's right. But the thing is to go from level 20 to level cap, whatever it happens to be, even currently 25, you have more than enough XP to cap out a destiny. So you'll be earning that XP no matter what. It's just a question of if you had everything maxed out, you wouldn't have anywhere to apply it. You would already have all the bonuses from all your past lives, and you really wouldn't be gaining much as you go from 20 to 28. But with this, in order to get that past life feat, you have to go through the one destiny that you cleared out, which means you will be spending the XP that you're getting on something. As before, it would be completely wasted. And because you're keeping your fate points, you could actually earn another fate point because you're going to go up 3 ranks as you do that. So you'll have an opportunity to get some more fate points as you go. Like I said, it gives you something to work on, right? As otherwise, if you had them already all capped out, you're like, yeah, I got another level. Yeah, I got a skill point and some hit points. Not very exciting.
All right. Now, there are other facets
on an epic destiny.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Now there are other facets of your idea that are already kind of in the proposal, like smoothing out. They didn't say they're just going to completely do away with it, which is what you're proposing. But really, those ideas sound about the same, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot.
So there'll be one X. Right. So now, what about if the destinies are still on the map, and your goal is to get all of the XPs, you're still going to end up having to have your sorcerer go through the bard epic destiny, right?
Except that because you're TRing back to level 0, you can pick different classes. So you can pick a class that's going to be enhanced by the destiny that you need to work on. Since you're probably also working on some of your heroic TRs as well, you can plan your character to use the destiny that you need to be leveling.
Okay.
So you can tailor each of your lives to whatever your goals are for that life, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, if you're a person who just wants to maintain the same build every time through every past life, which is pretty hard to do when you're past lifing heroic anyway, there are some people that kind of have builds like that, but I think that's more the exception than the rule. Yeah. So basically, if you want to grind your destiny,
I certainly like this.
Yeah, you're always in a destiny that matters because you built your character to use that destiny.
All right. Well, with all that said, I think I can endorse the player's choice design. Yeah. Yes, 2 thumbs up.
Very good. And also the other bonuses, like I said.
Do I need to change?
Yeah, is you get your feet when you finish
my signature?
Leveling instead of when you reincarnate. But no, you don't have to change your underline thing there, unless it was a hater of the player's choice awards or something. But
No, nothing that bad.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely. Nice. I want people to try and troubleshoot my idea, but I really felt like I have all the angles covered here. Like, there are some people just like, well, I don't ever want to have to spend XP on my destiny again. But I don't know why. I mean, you're going to get it anyway. You're going to spend that experience points. So it's not like you have to do any extra grinding that you wouldn't have done to get from 20 to cap anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time finding anything that's wrong. There are certain players who are in a certain situation that might not like it because they just don't like TRing. There are people who just wanted to go for epic TRing, they want to go back to 20 and then do that again, which I can understand. But a real goal of the TR system is not just to make your character stronger, but is to make you go through the whole game so that all those low-level quests get played a lot. and the content is kind of nicely spread throughout. If I think,
well, and your goal encompasses that as well. If they are already a heroic completionist,
that's right. If you have everything that you could gain by going from 1 to 20, then you don't have to do it. I think that's fair, right? Very much so. And if you just don't want to ever not be an epic character, well, don't TR. But that's my take. So there are some people that wouldn't like it for that reason, but I don't know. I think it's much more in the spirit of the current system. So. Cool. Okay, so what am I going to do for this? Like I said, I'm going to try and post this up. Anne's going to make some little advertisements we can put on social networks. I'm also going to bribe people, which I think is a great way to get elected. Well, maybe not, but... so we have a code for the Shadowfell Conspiracy Collector's Edition, which we were going to give away, and we were just trying to think of a good reason to give it away. And hey, to further my own objectives, seems like a good reason to give it away. So if you want to get the Shadowfell Conspiracy Collector's Edition code from us, what you need to do is send us an email at DDOcast@gmail.com and include a link to somewhere, some public place on the internet where you have declared your support for the Player's Choice design. And wherever it happens to be, you send us that email, you're entered into the contest. Everybody who enters gets a chance to win. I'll do my random determination. I'm not sure exactly how long we'll do this for, maybe 2-3 weeks, something like that. I'll announce the final thing of that. I mean, this is something I just came up with over the weekend, so not all the details. But all you really need to do is say, I support the Player's Choice design, ideally in a polite but enthusiastic tone. And we would encourage you to link to wherever it is that we post the official version of this proposal. And that'll be about that. And then just send us an email saying you did it and pointing us to where it is so that we can check it out and go, ooh, neat. And you could win the Shadowfell Conspiracy Collector's Edition. And if other people want to donate things that are easy for us to give away to anybody who plays, which is usually point codes and stuff, we'll throw those into the kitty too. So if you want to be a sponsor or a patron of this effort, then that'd be cool. And part of my pitch to Turbine is, as somebody said, if they're powered by their fans, they should occasionally let the fans drive the bus a little bit. And so I think this is a good occasion to do that. So if we can rally enough people and persuade Turbine, maybe we could get somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe we're tilting at windmills. Who knows? But I think it'll be fun and kind of a neat thing to do. And there's been a lot of player suggestions, but I don't know that we've ever organized one quite so much, right, as I intend to do. Haven't done it yet. All right, so that's my deal. And you'll be hearing, Lord knows, more about it as time goes on. So I think maybe that's enough Epic Destiny talk. Are we good on that?
It's a lot. It's a lot to digest. I mean,
yes, it is.
I'm here I am. I want to ask for an example, but I don't know if I should or not.
Well, Anne was a little confused by my description, so we did a little role-playing at the supermarket, right? I'm like, okay, imagine you're a capped character, and you want to reincarnate, right? So,
if we're going to go anyways, why don't we just do it right now?
Okay, right, okay. You are a capped level 28 character. You have a whole range of Epic Destinies maxed out, right?
Yes,
and you are interested in reincarnating.
I have worked hard in the Bard Destiny, which I refuse to name because I really didn't like it, and also Shadow Dancer, Draconic Lineage, and also Dreadnought, and the Wizard one, the Arcane one. I worked on that, and then I finally got to the one that I really want, and that's Shirati.
All right, very cool. Okay, so I am an NPC that you have been directed to by an email from Turbine upon release of this expansion pack, and it says that if you are a capped character, you should go talk to me. So why don't you come talk to me?
Hi, I'm a capped character, and I'm thinking about doing an epic TR.
Wow! Congratulations on all your hard work. I see that you're a capped character. You have multiple capped destinies. If you would like, you qualify for a past life feat for all the hard work you've done. Would you like one?
Sure. Yeah, I would love one.
Tell me which destiny you would like your feat for that you have currently capped. Here's a list of the ones that are available.
Okay. Obviously, I'm going to pass over all the ones that I really didn't like, such as Shadow Dancer and Dreadnought. But I really like the Shirati one, so I'll pick that one.
Cool. All right. Here's your Shirati past life feat. It is now part of your character. You don't need to spend anything on it. You can use its benefits right now if you like in epic level content. you have a great time. Since you mentioned you were interested in reincarnating, there's the reincarnation guy right over there. If you want to go do that, you should go talk to him.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay.
Have a nice day.
Thanks. Bye. All right. I really still want a TR, so I walk over to the new TR the new TR NPC.
Hey, baby, what's up? You want a TR or what?
Yeah, sure. I want you to burn my flesh and grind it up my bones and put it into that tree over there.
Oh, sounds like a party. Okay, here's what you need to do. You qualify because you got maxed out epic destinies, and not only that, you're cap characters. So you're good to go. Oh yeah, fork over your true heart of wood. You got one of them?
Yep, got it. Here.
Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, we're ready to start. Now, what you need to do, here is a list of your cap destinies you got now. You get, not cap destinies, but here's the ones that you got access to. You need to pick one of those, and that's the one you're going to get a feat for next life. But you're going to have to max it out to get that feat. Do you understand?
Max it out. Wow.
Yeah, you're going to have to get that from 0 up to the top by the time you cap out next time.
Okay, so I picked Shirati, so I already have it.
Yeah, you already got that one.
So I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to choose Draconic Lineage. Because
okay,
I know it's a good one, and it works well with my caster builds that I tend to do when I TR.
Great. So, we're going to do a little dance here. We're going to put you back to level 0. Very exciting. And on your next life, we're going to take the XP in that Draconic Lineage and put that down to 0. Still unlocked for you and everything. But you're going to need to level that up in order to get your Draconic feat when you cap out next life. You understand?
Yes, I
Great.
do understand.
All right, back to the harbor with you, kid.
Burn evolution into the tree. Oh wait, yeah.
And that's how it worked from a player experience. So as she levels up, she needs to level up Draconic on that next life, and when she caps out and she caps Draconic, she can go talk to the first guy and get her feat, and she can just keep it at her max level, or reincarnate again to get a different one. And that's it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did that explain well?
That was lovely. I especially enjoyed the scream of reincarnation.
Yeah.
All right. I've been thinking some more about your proposal.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to have to bribe me too. I don't want a code. Here's what I want. I want you to add into it that heroic completionism is not selectable. You just get it. So you don't have to wait a feat slot on it.
Absolutely. I will add that in, because I agree that that's something that we should just be granted.
So, yep, throw that in, and you have my wholesome, undiluted support, which is worth 1, actually maybe 2 DDO players. Assuming I can talk my girlfriend in it, I can't promise.
No, that's a great one. I think that should definitely be in there, especially since it's something you kind of lose and gain as the wind goes, right? So, yeah, I think that'd be cool. All right, great. I like it.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go back over to you, Jeff, and talk a little bit about what's been on DDO Gamer this week.
Well, I was going to write about reincarnating, but I think we've just talked that to death, so I'm not going to write about that. Well, I don't know. I may still handle it next week.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In the past week, the people who are not me posted 4 times. Good job, people who are not me.
Mm-hmm.
I posted 4 DDO posts. It's a tie. Now, for a tiebreaker, I posted a non-DDO post. That gives me a slight edge. But roaring back are the people who are not me. In fact, Jerry, who cited, as Cordovan, who cited DDO Gamer in the fan site news section, picked an article from a person who is not me this time. So, congratulations, Mizaru. Yes, your article was featured in the Chronicle this week, and it was actually a very nice article, too. She talks about all the different wilderness areas that her wilderness-only character has been through, describes each one a little bit. It's a good read. So, if you haven't read it yet, please do. You'll enjoy it. Other things on DDO Gamer in the past week. It's kind of a visual week, actually. One of the things I've had this picture forever, and I've been looking for an excuse to put up. Now, let's look for those of you who are not watching DDOcast, who are listening. What I'm trying to post here is a picture from the Quest Sane Asylum, where you solve a puzzle and you find Fred, who's our House J friend, who redoes your feats. You rescue him from having been petrified, and in return, if you talk to him correctly, he will reward you with a chest. Now, he's a captive. He didn't have any obvious chests, and as he points out in his dialogue, fine, have it your way. You don't even care I was hiding that chest, do you? Loot your soul away. Make sure Oh, there it is.
I do love that chest.
Loot your soul away. Anyway, where was he hiding that chest? I don't want to think about it. Other interesting, like I say, it was kind of a visual week on DO Gamer. Now and then, you will run into the gray pearlescent. There's a very intricate cast iron looking framework, sort of gothic, that orbits about it in a mesmerizing spinning.
What is that? It's like home decorating for DDO.
You can see I have done here. It's got to be evil, right? It's purplish. I mean, that's the color of evil, you know. I don't know what it is. Now, the only suggestion I got was from. I mean, it looks very cool. You should see it. I mean, it's a very cool visual. I wish I had a GIF of it spinning. Maybe I should do that. The only suggestion I got from anybody was from forum reader Dex Raven, who suggested it might be something called a mythalar, maybe slightly smaller with artistic license. I don't know what that is. He provided a helpful link. I haven't clicked it yet. So, as far as I know, sure, it's a mythalar. Whatever. It's cool.
Oh, now I have to look it up. Gosh.
Any actual use is I came across the I did post something of actual use. I came across a situation where I needed to know, did I get my 2,000 Turbine points from the purchase of the expansion pack or not? And I couldn't tell because I'm just such a sloppy Turbine point bookkeeper. And I have a big pile of points for a completely unrelated reason, so I couldn't tell were these 2,000 added or not. So, all right, and then I did write one thing that is of actual use to people, hopefully, this week, and that is I came across a situation where I had to determine whether or not I had received all the Turbine points I was supposed to get, and I couldn't tell because I'm very sloppy about keeping track of that kind of thing, and for unrelated if it had gone up by the appropriate amount or not. But there is a way. What you can do is you can check your account history. All right, so you can check your account history. You have 60 days of DDO store purchases online available to you. In order to get to it, it's not straightforward. I had to discover it myself. I'm not sure everybody knows. You open up DDO Store. In the upper right corner of the DDO Store window, you'll see a link titled My Account. If you click that, it gives you a link that shows a link that is called View Purchase History. And this is how I get to the... here, I'm trying to show it now. View Purchase History is a link. Now, if you click on that, that will further take you to a 60-day history of everything that you've done on the DDO store. So you can see where, if those of you who are watching, it's where the yellow arrow is, View Purchase History, and then if you click that, it will take you down to an actual history where it gives you a nice tabular version of everything you've done, pluses, minuses, things that you've added, etc. So it only goes back 60 days, but it's a handy thing for working out any disputes that you might have. Speaking of which, and my last Father's Day note, my eldest son had the very thoughtful idea of purchasing a Shadowfell expansion kit for myself and also for my Gamers Girl for Father's Day. How thoughtful he is, right?
Aww.
Yes, and he doesn't play, so he had to do a bunch of research to find out that this even existed, right? And he called me up and he was so pleased with himself. You know, he made me open up my email and tell him what I saw, and he was so excited. And I just didn't have the heart to tell him that we bought them the day they came out.
Yeah.
So thank you for that thoughtful gift, son. That's not of any use to me. So, but, Turbine to the rescue. I called Turbine customer service at 1-855 WB Games. I explained to them my predicament, and they were happy to transform that $50 purchase into an equivalent pile of Turbine points.
Huh.
So my son's thoughtful gift is not for naught, and now I have a really large pile of Turbine points.
Hooray for gift exchange.
That's very cool.
That's cool.
And that's DDO Gamer for the week.
All right.
Yay!
Very nice. All right, we'll do a quick what you've been doing. Me, playing my TR. Hey, what do you know? The Druid Monk is doing well, as so far as I can tell, and Monk Druid is doing well as well. Pretty good team of characters. They do nicely, although soon I will be missing having haste always available. I guess I can always have a wizard follower or something like that, but it's the one thing that you don't get on Divine Casters. Makes me sad. Other than that, not too much. I played in the other TR group. I've been playing my Rogue Wizard a little bit. I'm kind of rotating characters now because they're in the mid-levels. It takes them a lot of XP to level, but it doesn't take me much, so I get to level lots of mid-level characters, which is great. I haven't seen those guys in a while, so that's pretty cool. How about you, darling?
Oh, hey, lots and lots of TRing. So, I've been working on my TR. She's now level 10. Of course, as Sig said, she is a monk with a dash of druid. So, but this life has been really fun. I really like monk, and I like the divine casting abilities of a druid. So that helps out. She's a healing ant build, so it's super cheap to heal her and keep her alive. And having evasion and greater, evasion is great always on that kind of a character. We were able to, today we ran Pit on Elite, and we ran into that induction bug. And then it's like, oh, well, we can't finish this quest. And so we sat around, waited for a little while, got a really fast response from the GM. And this GM took a look at the situation and just gave us our XP. So that was it. So it's great. It's free XP. I had a sovereign host elixir going on, so that's 50% increase on XP. So my XP turned out to be 45k, just a little under 45k. So
yeah, running the pit level was worthwhile. Great
times. It's just like, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's free XP. We did run the quest, so.
Well, no, we finished the quest as if we had run it. If it didn't get stuck on the objective because of that induction bug. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's the weird thing about the bug is, it'll open the doors that it's supposed to open and do everything else. It just won't give you credit for completing the quest.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other hand, other stuff is really great, like being able to disable traps in a flash. I love that. It's like, ooh, it's like instead of having to wait for that stupid long induction bar to finish, and that trap just goes, bing, done. And then same thing with exiting out the quest, bing, done.
Now, I actually saw somebody complain that, people were doing traps too fast, and so it stopped the party from gathering together and having quality time while they wait for the traps to be disarmed. To which
we want our pain.
Yeah,
we want our pain. Let us feel our pain.
Utterly incredulous about. Like,
buff bards are crying everywhere because traps can't stop the party anymore.
Yeah, as one person said, the only thing more boring than watching a progress bar is watching somebody watching a progress bar. But it's still a bug though. It's it's definitely causing some problems, even though I had some nice parts. I would rather it go away than have the fast.
Well, I'd rather it go away because I don't want to have to keep on calling a GM in order to complete a quest that requires an object interaction in order to complete an objective.
Yes, that would be nice.
In that quest.
At least we can call GMs now.
Yeah, I know.
It was really annoying when you couldn't call the GMs either.
It was like, error 404. It's like,
oh,
I hate you, Windows.
They don't even have a cute 404, like, hey,
no,
you made the wrong turn in a dungeon and have died.
Yeah. It would have been nice if it was one of those custom-made 404s where you can actually link it to an external portion of the bug.
Oh, yeah. We we DDO players are very demanding, I think.
Yeah, we are.
You need better 404s, Turbine. We're going to rant until you fix them.
Well, 7 years of me just jaded. There we go. That's why.
Yeah.
When I was young 7 years ago, we had better things in life.
DDO with a rock and a piece of paper. How about you, Jeff? How's your DDO experience been?
I found another quest that the induction bug just totally hoses. From Beyond the Grave, you're supposed to run around and light these pyres, and it takes a really long time to light them. Well, not anymore. They light right up.
Hey, let's do that quest, darling.
Yeah, it's uncompletable. And
that's
it's such
right.
a short quest. Yeah, it's such a short quest that I couldn't justify calling a GM. But I'm not going to start it over either, so we just left and moved on. We got the loot. Oh, it's a super fast loot run if you want some 12th level loot. There you go. Yeah.
Bang, bang.
So.
Hey, everybody, let's do a loot run. It's a level 10 quest. It's +2 loot weekend. We just gave you the best tip of your lives.
And we totally used to run that for loot. It used to be a loot run. We used to do it all the time.
Oh, yeah. Back when the cap was 10, that was huge.
Yeah.
The other thing I did is I accidentally completely screwed myself by my gamer girl stumbled across not an Otto's box, but the predecessor, the one that we got for free.
Right.
And you would but you can only do it one per account and so forth. Well, she found that she still had one of those, and my TR character never used one. So she popped it onto my TR character, and it worked. So she jumped all the way to she had an XP pot going, and it turns out that helps when you're sucking down one of those things. So she jumped up all the way to like 18th level. This all sounds good, but the downside is her inventory is hosed. It gave her 20 new pieces of inventory, which had augment slots. And I've got to figure out, do I want to keep any of them? And she's got to go back through her TR bank and find out what stuff applies at her new level. And I got to craft everything. And oh, it's so no. So I haven't touched her since. Yeah, I haven't touched her since. This
is when you take your laptop, stick on a movie that you've seen before, and then you work through your inventory while watching the movie.
No.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. So I haven't touched her since. Instead, I've been playing my other 8th level character with my gamer girl's 8th level character, and this one doesn't have inventory problems. And she's an artificer, and she's awesome, and so that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I need to find somebody to use mine on. I've got one of those too, and I don't know anybody who hasn't had one applied to them yet. So, but I don't know if you're on Thalanis and you want a character to go from 8 to 16. Let me know. I got one in my inventory.
Jeff has a character, but it's not level 9.
It's close. It's level 7.
It's close. Almost.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to community news. Got a little bit of that this week as well. I've got the DDO Hunger Games happening on Kyber. Sounds pretty cool. I'll read their little blurb here. Yes, you read that right. PvP and DDO has never had a point until now. Derry and Fungate are organizing the DDO Hunger Games. How it'll work. Every second Saturday of the month, the DDO Hunger Games will happen. 10 competitors will fight each other using this method. The first round will be a simple 5 versus 5. The players will have to fight for a 10-minute period. Once the fighting is over, the last ranked player of both teams will be eliminated. The brawl is now a 4x4, using the same method until the grand final, a 15-minute one-on-one for the 2 best of both teams. The winner eventually gets really interesting prizes. Me and Fawn will be in the arena on higher levels as the 11th and 12th players to act as a referee to be sure that no one cheats. What are the rules for the Hunger Games? Need to be a maximum level of 4. After level 4, some classes become overpowered over others, they say. No TRs. You can use Veteran 1 status to go straight to level 4 if you like. You cannot have more than 2 classes levels labeled as caster, including divine. No gear restrictions. Unlimited supply of potions, wands, scrolls, etc. Multiclass is allowed. No elemental resistance ship buffs. No camping. Campers will have a little surprise, they say. And have fun. That is required. So the prizes they have for the first week, which has already happened, judging by what time of day it is, on June 15th, 2013, the winner got a +8 strength belt, epic hold Tor helm, +20 black epic scales, and 250k plat. So pretty nice little prize package. Yeah, good stuff. So I think it's fun to have these. It's kind of the best way to do PvP and DDO is to have a little organized rules tournament of some kind. I think that makes it a lot more fun. Especially at low level, it kind of works better. When I did it, they had a different AC system, so I don't know how that would impact the way we would have played that out. It'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, I think that's really cool. You go, Dury and Fawngate. Big props for putting together a community event. We don't see enough of those these days.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
DDO Chronicle. Yeah, I think it's cool. And I like their format, too. It should be nice and fast. The one I used to do, the Tough Man thing, took a while to put together and to kind of complete. So, right, thanks to the shout-outs on DDO Chronicle for DDO Gamer and DDOcast. We appreciate that. Not a lot of other stuff in there. They mentioned the Hunger Games as well. Of course, we already covered that. The Chronicle comment is, do you have a favorite sword in DDO? And if so, what is it? I don't know. I don't know all the gear real well, but Terror is probably my favorite sword that I own. It's fun. things die screaming occasionally. It looks really neat because it's a big jagged piece of glass that's purple and black. I like it on my wizards and sorcerers and favored souls, other characters who aren't great melee characters but can hit with the thing, and it actually kills stuff occasionally randomly. And it does okay damage. So I like Terror a lot. That's probably my favorite sword. How about you, darling?
No, I was going to choose Terror now.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a good one. I mean, man. Well, I'll be more specific. I like the pre-update 9 version of Terror because it had a higher DPS rating and it procced more.
Yeah, that thing was ridiculous.
That thing was stupidly ridiculous. It
was.
What was it, more than 2% or some 10% proc rate?
I don't think it was the proc rate so much as the DC on it was really high on that version.
Oh, okay.
So it was like
DC?
DC
Okay.
28 or something like that. It's where now the DC is I don't know, 24 or I don't know. The DC is a lot lower now than it used to be, so they save more often.
Yeah.
How about you, Jeff?
Oh, well.
Well, I'm going to give you two answers. My favorite looking sword is the short sword with the spiked handguard.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is just you put one of those in each hand on a halfling, and they just look badass as they could look. I mean, that's just cool. So whenever I'm crafting a weapon, I always craft on one of those. All right. This one I haven't had a chance to play with yet, but I learned last week that Whirlwind, a two-handed sword from the desert, allows you to attack and do damage with your dex bonus on a two-handed sword. And that just sounds really cool to me. So I'm thinking I might do a buff build just to take advantage of that one thing and try it out and see what happens.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Neat. All right, let's see. More lightning post. We got some letters about things not necessarily related to TRing, so I thought we'd go through some of those. Will R. writes in. He says, I occasionally listen to old DDOcast episodes while I grind away in game. It helps pass the time. I was listening to episode 91, which also happened to be Ask the Devs number 6. Mixed in with all the usual dev questions was one about weapon types. In particular, what weapon type was mentioned? The spiked chain. The devs at the time said it wasn't likely we would ever see a weapon like the spiked chain because of the amount of art and animation that would be required in order to implement it. And here we are, 5 years later, and it certainly looks like the Shadowkai assassins will have a spiked chain ability. Just thought that was interesting. I thought that was great. I was like, yeah.
Good point.
Yep.
Bravo. Yep. Spiked chain.
Yeah.
Yay.
Do you think we'll really get it as a weapon type, or will it be some kind of clicky,
I think it's a clicky. I think it's a special attack they get. That's my guess.
Yeah.
It's an all-around damage attack of some kind, maybe with a status effect. I'm not sure, but still, it's kind of cool. It was sort of like, yeah, it's something we'll probably never do. Oh, there it is. What do you know? All right. Kergiyu sent this in. He said, first thing first, Auction House Watch. Check this out. Quite the insane price for an item. And he sent me a picture. I'll just tell you, it was a pair of Nether Grasp gauntlets on sale for 30,000 astral shards. And, well, asking ridiculous prices is one thing. It had a bid of 30,100 astral shards on it. So somebody was buying.
Wow.
And that's the really amazing part.
What does that translate into dollars? Someone tell me quickly.
I don't remember what the translation rate is, but it's a lot. Yeah.
$180.
$180. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Is that right, or is it 1,800? Nah, I don't know.
Something. I don't know.
It better not be 1,800, or there's just something fishy about the whole thing. But 180, I'll believe. I mean, we were selling some Magic cards recently, and a single piece of cardboard can go for way more than that. So,
yeah.
Who knows? Let's see. Oh, he goes on to say, my TR is now 8th life, about halfway through 9. I was looking at knocking out Monk. I have no idea how to build a solid Monk. Usually avoid Monk builds like the plague. I don't understand them completely. Oh, well, okay, not at all. Would really like a Monk that can do traps and that can dual-wield short swords. High armor class would be nice, but not a total requirement. 8th life TR, so pretty much have every tome you can think of, gear. I TR before I actually get the chance to farm out gear. Your build ideas, though, and guidance would be most appreciated. Thank you, sir. Well, I'll probably get some more detail maybe on the next podcast, but I'll say for Monk, the one thing about that with the short swords, you get those being a Dark Path Monk. A Dark Path Monk is great, but the best thing about Dark Path Monk is the Fists of Death ability. They get level 9, and guess what? You can't use it while doing short swords. which is really lame.
Dope.
I really wish they would allow you to do that one while holding a key weapon instead of unarmed. It would at least make the short sword thing a reasonable decision. I mean, already unarmed is faster than the short sword, so you're at a disadvantage already. Not being able to do the death touch move. I don't know. I wish they'd fix that. Or not fix it, but change it so that you can do it with any key weapon. Anyway, but other than that, I mean, there are some short swords that are pretty good, so, you know, there are some reasons to use short swords occasionally at least. So you want to go Dark Path Monk for that. That works in real well. The synergy between Monk and Rogue is pretty nice because you get a really fast attack rate. If you have a good sneak attack damage, that can be great. So you can either actually, well, I guess to do traps, you need to take some Rogue levels. Probably want to maybe go up to Rogue 6 or something so you get the first Prestige line, and then at least 12 Monk, and then you could do 2 of anything you like pretty much to mix in there. Either more Rogue or more Monk or some other thing, like 2 Fighter for more feats. Yeah, I think you could have a pretty good AC on a character like that. The trick with Monk builds, if you're going to dual short swords, you want to start out around, like, well, if you have all the tomes, like 14 dex would be minimum. 15 I'd recommend so that you can get improved 2-up in fighting by level 7. You pick it up at level 9, I guess, at that point. Anyway, the more dex you give yourself, the sooner you can get the 2-up in fighting feats. What else? Usually monks benefit from kind of a nice average distribution of stats. Decent wisdom, decent dex, decent strength, decent constitution. The only thing you really don't care about at all is maybe charisma. If you're going to do traps, you want some intelligence. So you're looking at a nice kind of average curve of stats. Just get as many stat points in as you can. Lots of 14s and maybe a couple 16s. I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot more to monk builds than that. You know, take the dark side monk path. You get sneak attack for the ninja thing, and that's about it. They're easy to play. You just kind of have to learn the key moves. It's really more about how you play them than how you build them, I think.
Yeah, it's more active play.
Yeah.
Lots of buttons.
Yeah, there's a lot of button pushing. Although, if you can master firing off touch of death as often as possible, I think that's what you're really shooting for with the mug, right? Dark side mug. Because it's a lot of damage when it hits. It's like, oh, it's so nice. Air stance is usually what you want to fight in most of the time on most monks. Some monks like to do fire stance for a while because you build up more ki. Other than that, I find air is the best. It's too bad we don't have our monk expert anymore. I'm sure he would have stuff to say.
Yeah, we miss our monk experts.
Can I put in a word for a blog that's a guy who writes only about monks?
Oh, yeah, please.
Cool.
Yeah, the name of the blog is The Order of the Synclectica, and it's kind of hard to spell, and I don't want to go into it right now because we're already kind of running long.
Yeah.
But if you go to DDO Gamer, there's a list of other blogs, and he posts pretty regularly. It's The Order of Synclectica. It's chock full of how to build a monk. It's the only kind. He's got rogue monks. He's got mage monks. You know, he's got every kind of monk that you want. Go there and read it. It's very helpful.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Finally here, maybe Jeff should read this one. It's from Facebook. Yeah, so we had some Facebook posts that, I don't know, it generated a lot of activity, so that's something. So why don't you tell us about it, Jeff?
All right. Well, you know, this is the lightning post. So a Facebook user named John Brownlow posted, "You guys going to start having segments from other players like the good old days? No offense, but putting Jeff on the show just doesn't make up for it." Well, let me start out by saying, stop. I completely agree.
Kidding.
A whole lot of Jeff does not make up for a bunch of cool segments. Okay? So let's get that out up front. Next, he didn't mean this this wasn't mean.
No, he didn't.
Okay? So,
no,
he didn't. And what followed was actually quite a long chain of comments from people who used to give us segments like Timothy Seifert, a.k.a. Steiner Davion, and Samus Garubo, and several other people explaining why they no longer submit segments. The only one there I excuse is Samus Garubo because he's doing an entire other podcast, so I guess he gets a pass, right? So
and Tim just had a baby, so. By the way,
I've had babies. I'm here.
Well, he just had
here
one.
On Father's Day.
That's Father's Day, and this is his first child he's ever had. Oh.
I understand, but trust me, fathers don't really have babies.
Yeah.
Just telling you know that. So, and I want to say how much I appreciate my compatriots in DDOcast jumping into the thread to explain how much they appreciate my involvement And you guys are awesome, too. I love you as well. But my favorite there was Ann jumping in with, Jeff's on the show because he's my friend. Well, you know what? You're my friend, too, Ann.
Yay!
Yay! Towards the bottom, we had users jumping in, such as Adam Newsom, talking about, hey, you know, I might do a segment, but Jeff has to do a rap. Okay, now.
Uh-oh.
Let me point out, and Ann jumped on that too. Yeah, or sing. Yeah, or sing. Small creatures across the country die when I sing. And when I rap, we all lose. Okay, so that is just not going to happen. But finally, the final post was Adam Newsom starting a separate thread, actually, in the same area, DDOcast area on Facebook, says, getting my crew and resources together this weekend to do some recording for a new DDOcast segment. Already called everyone up, and we are working on a script. Going to be called Kobe and Friends.
Yay!
Yay!
That's very exciting.
It's a new segment. So thank you, John, for sparking inspiration.
Yeah, well, but he finished with just waiting to hear a rap from Jeff. Okay, well, once again, that will not be happening. But I'll put together something for next week's show because we want Adam to get his segment in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And I heard John may be doing a segment too. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Did you see that?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, he said he had something. He said that basically British people sit around and complain about other players in the pug. So maybe that'll be the name of the name of the segment.
Complaining about
everyone else. Yeah, we could call it Everyone Else in This Pug Sucks. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll play almost anything. If you make a segment and it's not especially like R-rated and it doesn't have like screaming sounds on it or screeching glass or something, we'll play it. I promise. We love segments. We just don't get many of them anymore. And I'm not necessarily very good about browbeating people. I'm like, it's a volunteer thing. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. But yeah, I would love to have more segments.
I get tired of begging, you know? I used to
Anne
beg
can
a
only
lot.
listen to my voice so much, so it's nice for her to have a break.
It's fine, but you know, you can only beg so much. When we first started doing DDOcast, when Jerry left, I begged a lot, and after a while, it's like, God, I'm tired. I don't want to beg. Someone else beg. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, and we should probably be sure to thank the two people who do continue to send us segments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shamgar does a great job. I love Epic Education, and I learn a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ludwig is very cryptic, and I have to always ask Sig for translation.
Sweetie, Ludwig's talking to me. I don't understand. Can you help? Sure. I got my handy Ludwig translator right here. I know exactly what he's saying. I actually do. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And it looks at me. She's like, what is he saying? He said this. She's like, what? Really? Yes. Thursday. I speak his language, or he speaks mine. One of the two.
There you go.
Okay. I don't know. I'll give a final mention that we'll be recording live episode 300 of Gen Con, which is coming up sooner and sooner. Every week it gets 1 week closer. So if you're going to be at Gen Con, definitely sign up and come to the show. You'll find it on the calendar there. So looking forward to that. Should be cool. And I'm going to get my equipment for live performances here soon. So beware of the world. Don't know if we're bringing that to Gen Con, but you know.
Unless you want to do a rap.
Yeah, we'll see. I will be doing a live rap at PaizoCon. If you happen to be in Washington State, and you want to go to the Kobold quarterly party, I will be rapping about kobolds at that party. So that should be interesting. In fact, I got to call the guy because he wants to talk to me about it. He sounds nervous. I'm not nervous, but he sounds nervous. We'll see.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's do one more plug of our little Shadowfell Conspiracy Collector's Edition key code giveaway.
Right. So if you post somewhere out on the interwebs that you support the People's Choice Design, or the PCD, if you want to call it for short, and then send that to us in an email, tell us where it's at, you'll be entered for a chance to win Shadowfell Conspiracy Collector's Edition. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I already have one of those. Well, apparently you could turn that into turbine points, maybe. Or you could give it to a friend. All kinds of cool things. It is a code, so it's very transferable to other people. Anyway, or you could just help us out and say, I don't really want to win the thing. Let some other lucky individual get it, and that would be fine too. So
yeah. So when we'll be posting our Player's Choice Epic TR revamp thing, I don't know.
The Player's Choice Design.
Player's Choice Design.
Yep.
There you go. Somewhere on DDOcast.com, and we will share that link and give you full instructions in a post soon, earlier than later.
We'll shamelessly promote our own ideas. Don't normally do stuff like that, but why not? Every once in a while, you got to grab the bull by the horns and go for it. So, all right, I think that's going to be it for today's show. Big thanks to Ann and Jeff for being here, keeping me company, keeping the lights on, making the show work, keeping us entertained. Big thanks to all our fine listeners, folks in the chat room, and all those who listen to the podcast, and to Turbine and Wizards for making games that we like to play. If you want to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can call us at 707-DDOcast or email us at ddocast@gmail.com. Until next time, your attack rolls be crits, your chess level appropriate. Have fun, and don't forget to support the People's Choice Design.